up, Hellraisers? Welcome back to yet again another video. And today's video is going to be a part 2 to a video that I did around the time when I first started my channel, which is called the top 10 movies that you should check out on TUBITV. Well, that video is going to be linked in the description down below if you want to check those movies out. However, those movies are still on TUBITV. Well, this is going to be part 2 to that video, where I got another top 10 movies that you should check out on TUBITV. Also, be aware, these movies will have some major spoilers here and there. I will tell you what they're about and like the plot twist if there is some, without giving away too much, because I want you to experience these movies yourself for the first time watching. And so with all that being said, if you don't know what TUBITV is, well, let me explain. TUBITV is a free streaming service app that you can use that have movies and TV shows and documentaries on there for your taste. And it is absolutely free. The only thing that you have to deal with is that the movies have, that TUBITV have a bunch of ads throughout the movie, which is cool, but you can still enjoy the movie. By the way, this video is not sponsored, so keep that in mind. So with all that being said, let's get into this list. We're diving right into this bad boy at number 10. We got Jeepers Creepers 1. Okay, so there has been a lot of crazy BS going around about the whole Victor Salva thing. I know about that stuff. I'm not talking about the director. I'm talking about the movie. To separate the art from the artist. That is something that I don't understand why people don't know how to do. But just separate the art from the artist. Okay, so he created the movie. I'm talking about the movie. Anyway, Jeepers Creepers 1 tells a story about a brother and a sister that goes on this road trip, and all of a sudden they see the guy dump a body into like this little well or something like that, and all of a sudden they want to find out what the heck he dumped down in that well, but little by they know he just isn't a guy. He's more of a demon or some kind of supernatural force. They don't know what he is, and he does not stop until he gets what he wants from them. And what he wants is he wants their body parts. This is one of those movies that you can have a bloody good time when you watch it, even though you probably have never seen the movie. But if you watch this movie, it's like a roller coaster ride. This movie takes you on the ride that you never see coming. This movie goes in some crazy directions. And honestly, Jeepers Creepers is one of my favorite slasher, or if not, one of my favorite supernatural-like films. Number 9, we got Jeepers Creepers 2, by the way. Like I said before, another one of Victor Salva films that I like. I ain't talking about him, I'm talking about the movie. Jeepers Creepers 2 tells a story about the same incident that happened in the first movie, but with the violence turned up to 11. So Jeepers Creepers 2 tells a story about a creature that's going to do nothing but stop the school bus, and he's going to pick each kid off one by one. And these kids don't know what to do but to set out to call for help, and little by they know, help is far, far away. And they're going to have to do anything in their power to avoid getting picked off by this creature. Jeepers Creepers 2 is one of those films that a lot of people would like to say has some very strange messages in it. I don't want to say too much, but it has a bunch of let's just say it has some very offensive things in the movie that will make you look back at the movie and go like, okay, in today's world, that would not age well. I'm not going to get into full detail with either one of these Jeepers Creepers movies, because I will be doing a full review on those movies in a separate video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Number 8 is a movie called Don't Breathe. This movie right here is a straight up horror film. If you don't know what horror is, watch this movie to kind of get the feel and the understanding of what a true horror movie is. Well, this movie tells a story about 3 young adults breaking into this blind man's house, and what they don't know is that this blind man is a crazy SOB, and he is not the guy to toy with. And they don't realize that just because he's blind, that doesn't mean he don't know how to defend himself. And what he does to these 3 young adults in this movie is bone fucking chilling. I'm telling you right now. This is probably the only movie on this entire list that I would recommend you to check out. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch this movie. It's literally that damn good. Number 7, Stream 4. If you want to see my review on Stream 4 or all of the Stream movies, and coming soon Stream 6, and I gotta update that ranking again. But anyway, if you want to see my review on Stream 4, the link will be in the description down below if I remember to put it. But anyway, Stream 4 tells a story about Cindy, Dewey, and Gail looking to put a stop to Ghostface, and little by they know Ghostface, he just isn't one. He is more than one now, and this is probably the only Stream movie besides the first Stream movie that I can truly say I had a blast watching. If you watch my ranking and if you saw my review on it, you know that this is pretty high on my ranking as well. But I really did enjoy Stream 4. The only issue that I have with the Stream movies is going to be the kills, the stab to the neck, the back, and the shoulder. It's kind of lame. Hopefully Stream 6 give me some good fucking kills. I hope, fingers crossed. Number 6, we got a movie called ATM. This movie tells a story about 3 business people go to the ATM machine, look to get some money out, go get something to eat on, so they can go back home and go back to work the very next day. Well, that's not what happened. They go to the ATM machine. Before they even get a chance to leave, there's a guy standing outside with a hood on, stalking them. They don't know who it is or what he wants or what he's doing. He's just stalking them. And he toys with them throughout the entire runtime of the movie. They think they one step ahead, they're only one step behind. And what he does to them inside this little box ATM machine is literally some of the craziest stuff you will ever see done on the big screen. This is one of those movies, just like I said with Jeepers Creepers film, is that it's a roller coaster ride. It takes you on the ride from start to finish. The characters are interesting, the plot is interesting, and what this movie tries to show you, it isn't nothing too graphic or brutal. It just shows you, and then it's up to you to use your imagination on how to expand and make it better. This is also another movie that I highly recommend you to check out on TUBITV. Number 5, we got a movie called The Autopsy of Jane Doe. This movie tells a story about a father and a son who walked into this place where you do stuff on dead people's bodies, and they bring this girl into there who is known as Jane Doe. They don't know who she is. They gotta find out who she is. And some strange things start to happen while they is in the morgue. It's called a morgue where you keep the bodies at. Some strange things started happening in the morgue. And the more and more that they investigate this girl, some strange supernatural things started happening around her body and surrounding them. This movie right here is one of those gross out movies at the same time, but the plot is so engaging. What they show you is like jaw dropping. It is the craziest shit you would ever see on your TV. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen this movie, another one of those. Now this is 3 movies that I highly recommend you to watch on TUBITV, but this movie right here is one of those movies that I told my sister about, and I was like, check out this movie, you're gonna love it. And she sent me a text message right back, and she said, holy shit, this movie is awesome. Please check this movie out on TUBITV. Number 4, gonna have to be Halloween 2. I'm not really a Michael Myers type of guy. I don't really like Michael Myers that much. I don't take him serious. But this is one of those Halloween films that I do like. There's a couple of other ones, but this is going to be high on my list when I do review those movies soon. But anyway, Halloween 2 tells a story about the continuation of Halloween 1, where Michael Myers is back in his town, Hollyfield, Illinois, and he's looking to put an end to his sister. And Lois Troll ain't taking no shit from him. He ain't taking no shit. Going back and forth trying to fight each other. She's trying to escape, also fight him off, and so on and so forth. The Halloween franchise is pretty much known, so I don't even have to explain so much, but it's on TUBITV, so definitely worth a watch. Check it out. Now we're getting into the top 3. Now, Number 3 is going to be a very underrated Blumhouse film called The Bellow Experiment. I believe Bellow, The Bellow Experiment. This is a movie that tells the story about this. This is a movie that tells the story about this big incorporation building full of people that trapped inside, and something happened where they all get trapped on the inside of the building and they can't get out. The only way that they can get out is that they have to kill each other in order enough to get out of this big incorporation building. There can only be one survivor. And what this movie does on the screen is one of those holy shit moments you will ever see on the big screen. And honestly, this movie is so underrated. Probably the only underrated movie on this entire fucking list. This is a movie that I recommend so many people to watch. Even if you're not even a Blumhouse fan or just a horror fan, period, still check this movie out because it's a bloody good time. Number two is a movie that if you are a woman, you should not watch this movie because it is, let's just say, it would get under your skin because of a certain incident that happened. Even if you're a man, it's some things that you don't want to see that this movie shows. The movie I'm talking about is I Spit on Your Grave. This is one of those films that you can watch it for what it is and appreciate it for what it is, which is also a remake, by the way. But like I said, you can watch it and appreciate the movie for the type of story it's about to tell you. Or you can watch the movie and be frustrated at the same time. So it depends on the type of person that you are. The reason I'm saying that is because this movie has a RAPE scene in it that goes on for too long, and that can be very nervous type of thing. Like, I'm really not explaining without trying to make people feel uncomfortable of me talking about the movie. But anyway, this movie tells a story about this young up-and-coming writer who goes to the cabinet and who looks to write a story so that she can, publish her story and so on and so forth. And these crazy, I guess you say, country boys or something like that, they go to her cabinet and then they do some very inappropriate things to her. And they try to hide all the evidence and try to kill her and stuff like that, but then they don't get a chance to kill her. She falls into the water. All of a sudden, she comes back and she takes out her, her attackers who did some horrible things to her, and basically she just get her revenge. And holy smoke, what they show, the kills in this movie is graphic. If you're looking for some graphic, bloody life type shit, this movie is definitely for you. But like I said, there's a specific scene in there that dragged on too long, that you might have to skip it because it dragged too long. And lucky number one will have to be a movie that I discovered on Netflix, but then I could never remember the name of the movie until I'm like, wait a minute, that's the movie that I saw when I was on TUBITV. And this movie is called Would You Rather. This movie tells a story about a group of people go to this big mansion. They was actually invited to this mansion, and they have to play this game called Would You Rather, a bloody version of Would You Rather. The host of the house basically give them some crazy stunts to do on each other, some crazy things like cutting out the eyeballs and so on and so forth. And what this movie shows you on the big screen is probably by far one of the most gruesome things you will ever see in a movie like this. But the movie doesn't go on too long with being so bloody. It's just one of those movies that makes you go, oh no. There's an old lady in this movie that's basically paralyzed from the waist down, and she gets stabbed in her leg. Like I said, this is one of those movies that you're going to have to watch yourself. I don't want to spoil nothing else for you. But, HELLRAISERS, so this is part 2 of a video that I did I believe a year ago now. So this is part 2. And you got 10 movies that you can check out. If you've seen any of these movies, let me know in the comments down below. That being said, like I say in all my other videos, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that bell notification. And I hope to see you HELLRAISERS in the next video. In touch with me, my social media link will be in the description down below. My name is Kevin Johnson, and I love horror movies.